TOA Fit Body Forever and Fit Body Bootcamp communities. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Robert Linkul, trainingtheolderadult.com. I hope you are all doing very well and ready to dive into some content here. This has been a video a long time coming. It's a hard one for me to do because there are issues here that I see that I feel like are unsafe. And at the same time, there's someone doing some feats of strength that are spectacular. And so it's hard for me to do a video on it and go, I don't know if I feel good about this, but at the same time, it's amazing. So I'm kind of torn, but I also wanted to discuss it. And so I'm just going to show you, first off, let's watch it together, and then we'll circle back and discuss a couple of these. All right, here we go. All right, so right out of the gate, we're doing hex bar deadlifts on a Bosu ball. Now we're popping down, pushing a sled to the point where she goes right out of her shoes. Missing steps, miscommunications. This is showing, never give up. That though she can do all these great feats of strength and all these other videos, she does have a lot of failures prior to. Oh, that's the one I really have a problem with. The ones with the plates. These ones too. I don't think these are necessary. These ones, you're moments away from a catastrophic injury, So Mr. James here, by all means well, and is definitely in this to showcase. Now this is like, in one extent, like this is amazing. It's awesome she's doing this. She's got 105 pounds in hand, and she's towing that rig is about 55 pounds, and she had another 70 to 100 on there. So she's moving like 250, 300 pounds, which is great. Okay. Doing some ladders. Here again, the ones elevated. Like, why not just do regular push-ups? Like, why does it have to be on these things? She's one false move away from snapping her wrist. She's one fall away from breaking a clavicle. Like, she's a 75-year-old woman, whatever she is. Like, I get it that she's capable, but I don't know. I think I would feel better if she were like 30 or 40 pounds more muscled. You know what I mean? I get it. She's a small framed individual. The risks here, and now it's like, it's great. Look, 3,500 people have liked this. How many? 900 shares. This one. If you haven't seen, okay, let's go over to this guy. Let me show you this one. This is why I don't like these videos, okay? Or I don't like these exercises, I mean. Okay, take a look at this. This is exactly the reason we don't do these. Push up, plate falls off. He's ditching out. Oh, right onto his hand. And yeah, you think that's broken? Yeah. There's one version of this where he shows it and it shows his whole hand. So not only did it break right here where the finger is all smashed in. I mean, it didn't just break it, it like smashed it. That was a iron 45-pound plate. And then here on his hand, see that huge hematoma, that huge bruise that's already coming in? It's already blue. It happened 3 seconds ago. It's already blue. That's how fast it's swelled up with blood. Yeah, he broke like 4 or 5 bones in his hand, just completely smashed his hand. This is a year of rehab because he had to do, just go bench press, right? Why not just go bench press? Why are we stacking plates on people's backs? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, what? Look at the component that you're trying to train. You're trying to train a horizontal push. So if that's what we're trying to do, why not just bench press? Let's say, okay, you're like 67, I think it's 67% of your body weight when you're in a push-up is what they found in one or two studies I remember reading a long time ago. I think that's about right. You're like 2/3 your body weight. Okay. So let's say she weighs 110 pounds. I don't have anything to size her against. Like I haven't seen her next to another person that I know. Oh, he's 6'2", so she's 5'2". I'm going to guess she's 110 pounds. Okay. Maybe even less, but who knows? So let's say she's about 70 pounds doing a push-up. And then you put a 15-pound rubber plate on her back. So now you're at 85 to 90 pounds. Why not just have her bench press 90 pounds? I mean, it's so much safer. So much safer. Not only is she not, well, we don't get the core coordination of doing the 3-ball put. So my point is we're not doing this because she's a gymnast, right? Or because she's in a show in Las Vegas. As far as I know, she's just a lady that's really talented and likes to do feats of strength. Then if that's the case, then that's the case. And she wants to do this. That's awesome. And that's like part of it, why I'm kind of torn. Because I watch it and I'm like, this is so cool. This 75-year-old woman, she's a beast. She can do chin-ups. She can carry a ton of weight. I mean, just on the hex bar alone, she was carrying her body weight. Imagine that. Like I'm 250 pounds, and I carried 115 pounds in each hand the other day, and I was like, damn, that's heavy. 10 more pounds in each hand. I've got I'm carrying my full body weight, half in each hand. That's a struggle, and I'm a big person. So for her at 105 or 110 pounds, to carry 110 pounds is super impressive, right? Super impressive. Let alone she's towing, a sled behind her. It's very inspiring. And I'm not taking anything away from her. Where I get concerned is people watch this and they go, oh, I got to go try that. I have a lady in here. Every time we talk about any bout of strength for anything, she's 82, 83 years old. And I mentioned that my sister could take a 12-kilo kettlebell and snatch it over her head, okay? 26 pounds. My sister's 45 years old, okay, or 47 years old. And in that moment, I went to put away the equipment we were using, and I turn around, and she's over there holding a 26-pound kettlebell, trying to press it over her head. And I'm like, Joyce, what are you doing, dude? Like, no, you can't press a 5-pound dumbbell over your head, and yet she's trying to do it with a 26-pound kettlebell. That's the competitive nature of people. And so Joyce is not alone in this. When people see this, they go, I want to go and try that. And I don't know, what are we supposed to put up a disclaimer of like, she's been training for 10 years, that's why she can do this? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I just get, every time I watch these videos, I'm literally 50-50. I'm like, this is great and it's terrible all at the same time. Because she is the Michael Jordan, she is the Deion Sanders of her sport, of her era, of her abilities. She's an elite strength athlete for a 75-year-old female. She is an elite. She's 1% of the 1% of the 1% of her demographic. And people see it and they go, I want to go and do that. And so all I get in my mind is that guy's broken hand. And in one of the videos, like she's doing the ladder, I think. And you can see a younger girl in the back with a plate on her back, a 25-pound plate on her back doing them. So obviously this is something that they do in this gym. And I just think it's super risky, Now, let alone, you're just on the floor. Now we're up on medicine balls. So let's say she loses her balance. She has to ditch that plate. She rolls off the ball, snaps her wrist, shoulder into the floor, breaks her clavicle. And you're like, oh, you're just being overly cautious. Do you know what breaks like that do to people in their 70s? Trained or untrained, the percentages of recovery and rehabbing are not in your favor. You're 75 years old. Now, is she going to be able to rehab better than the average 75-year-old? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. If someone were to get hurt, I'm like, you have to decide someone is going to experience a catastrophic break. Who are you picking? She'd probably be the top of my list because she's in such great shape. I think she would rehab back really well from it. If I had to go pick any other 75-year-old who's not trained, they're to get back to the point of just walking normal again would be a success. Like, you guys hear that, and it's not. I'm not just like, oh well, that's probably what'll happen. Statistically speaking, most people don't get back to their current ability, let alone better. So why would we think, oh, yeah, people are gonna try this, get hurt, rehab back better than they were at 75, at 76 now after a year of rehab? It just doesn't happen. Osteoporosis, arthritis, sarcopenia, any other disease in the body, as soon as the body stops moving at whatever ability and level that it does, disease and everything else just takes off. And this is just statistically speaking, this is what happens. The battle between good and bad in your body is kept down by muscle and ability. And as soon as either of those starts to reduce, the potential for the bad side of things, disease and cancers and anything else, all starts to increase and creep up. And so if you fall and break your hip and you're now bedridden for 8 weeks, your potential, statistically speaking, over 70% of people are not going to rehab back to current ability, let alone any better. Or they're going to experience some other starting process of end of life. And that's typically within 6 months. More than half. I want to say upwards of 70%. I don't remember the exact number, but somewhere around in there. It's not good. If you're over 70 and you have a catastrophic injury, meaning a broken femur, a broken pelvis, a broken clavicle, a broken shoulder, a broken back, a broken neck, the chances of, that's why my client Joyce has had 3 of these in the last 2 years, and she's still, now granted, not in as good of a shape as she was 2 years ago, but she's still battling in there. She's still doing her thing. She's in that 30% that just refuses to let this thing get the best of her. And I applaud her for that. And that's why when I watch these videos, I go, man, do we make this video? Do I warn people about this, or do I just let it go? And so everything I look at and I go, why are you doing it? Number one. And what is the risk versus reward? I think James means very, very well by sharing all this. And he's just got a stud athlete. She's just 75 years old, I don't even know how old she is. I just keep saying that. He's just got a stud athlete she obviously likes to do this and is good at it. She wants to improve her skill set. And is this all stuff that aging people should and can do? Absolutely. I just really think you have to come at this and just be like, this individual, see that one right there. That's a 45 pound. Is that 35, 45 pounds? Right there. What is that? That's a thick plate, okay, that we just saw in there. Let me back that up a little bit. I want to say that's a 35. Falling off of her back onto a rubber fake floor. Who wants to say that hits the ground, doesn't bounce back and clip her elbow or clip her knee? Like, you're just rolling the dice, man. Every one of these, you're just rolling the dice. And it's like, if that 45-pound plate or that 35-pound plate falls on her ankle, if she buckles right there, bangs her knee into that hard floor and cracks her patella, right there, wrist buckles and snaps her wrist. $148,000 people, 108,000 people have looked at this and liked this, and it's amazing. I'm not disputing that. Look at the other people in the gym watching, because they're just like, what a badass. She's amazing. And if I trained her, I'd probably have her do many of these things. But as soon as we start balancing off the ground and we're doing that stuff, see the girl in the back? Look, she's got a 15-pound plate on her back doing her push-ups. Just really risky, man. And then that one, I was just like, I don't even want to see her jump. I can't handle the jumping stuff. Jumping is great. Plyo ladders, this and that. But when you're starting to go over things and the potential for you to catch and fall, the risk at this age, it's just so not worth it. I don't know. Just my opinions. All love. That's James right there. Like, he's, obviously a fantastically built athlete himself, and he works with all these great athletes, and it does not surprise me whatsoever that he's got someone like this, And I do admire it. I think it's amazing. It just, at the same time, I am greatly concerned at the same time, you know? Unless she is signed by Circus du Soleil or whatever that company's called in Vegas and she's on stage doing some shit like this, like, I just don't understand why at this point in life you'd be like, hey, let's risk these really big injuries for highlighting a skill set like this. Just for what? Like, I don't mean to be a dick by saying this, but just for views on here. Just the hex bar, carrying the hex bar with that weight on it, just that video alone, if you say this lady's 75, she weighs 105 pounds, and she's carrying 115 pounds, just that video alone would get 100,000 video, 100,000 views on it. There's another one he has where she's just failing over and over again. She's trying to like jump over a bench, and she catches her heels and eats it. Let me see if I can find that really quick, and I'll throw that up here. Hold on just a second. Okay, I found it. And in the attempt to find it, I found a couple other things. So let's go into this. This is just the feed. We found out she is 77 years old. Okay, there you go. 77 years young. Doing handstands, which again it's super impressive, right? I'm not going to say it's not. I can't do it. That's friggin' amazing. And just look at all the videos of her and him. I mean, they do some amazing stuff. Here's one with the rubber bands around, like, awesome, right? But then, like, the knees under the rubber floor. I mean, I know it's kind of a wood rubber combo-ish, or it's rubber that's made to look like wood. Again, just like another thing where I'm like, patellas at 77, they don't need that, you know? Push-ups on the band, jumping over this one. I couldn't even believe this. This is the last thing I would have any human being do. I can't even watch it. It makes me, I have seen so many patellas snap doing this. I think this is so dangerous. So dangerous. This is the one that I can't, that's why I'd be like, don't do that. Just please don't do that anymore. And balancing on the hex bar while you squat, lifting weights while you're doing, like, again, she's awesome, but here it is. Watch her right foot on the bench. Watch it right there. Oh, big fall. 2.5 foot fall. Here we go. We're tumbling backwards, almost hitting our head. Again, you're on turf, so I get it, but these are impacts. These are all impacts. Rounding the back over, right onto the ribs, okay? Broken rib or chondritis. Missing this ball, landing on the ball, snapping the ankle, very common. Missing the box, falling on her chest or on her hands like that. These are just... And then this one, like, this is just the trainer's fault, 100%. And if it happened to me, I would say it's my fault too. You did not secure the band right, you know? The band didn't break in the middle. It just came unhooked. Like, that's our fault as coaches. So, I don't know. This is the stuff that just completely irks me out. And I'm just like, why? Why are we having her do that? Why? Because Mark Wahlberg did it? Like, that's... I wonder too, like, how many people have experienced rehabilitating what I would consider a catastrophic injury. Okay. Major back surgery, hip replacement, shoulder replacement, torn pec, a torn hip flexor or quad, a major broken bone, femur, forearm, hand, wrist, elbow injury, like anything where it's going to complicate your life. It's going to severely hinder what you do on a regular basis. Those are catastrophic injuries where someone else is now dependent. Just having my hand, when I had surgery on my right hand and it had to be in a cast, for 3 weeks, 4 weeks after, my right hand is what I pretty much do almost everything with. From the simplicities of going to the restroom to combing my beard, brushing my teeth, entering my code onto my phone to open it. It's all done with my right hand. And so at one point you're like, well, this is a good challenge to learn to use your other hand to do all these things. And you do. But at the same time, there's a lot of that where you're like, well, I need somebody else here to help me because I can't do this necessarily with one arm, right? Or I'm just not practiced enough to do that. And it hinders your life. Now someone else. So to say, like, let's go to the gym. I'm assuming she's not a performer, okay, of some sort. She's not in a show somewhere. So he's not training her to be on stage and to be, the ring of fire and jumping through whatever and balancing, juggling knives and shit like that. Like, why have her do this? This is just a feat of strength, just to put it in a video, to be honest. Like, I don't mean to, I know he means well. They both mean well. It sets a precedent now where 11,000 people look at that and they're like, ooh, I wonder if I could do that. And that's the hard part. So again, I don't even know what I'm saying in terms of like, should we be concerned? This is also something that's amazing that showcases what people can do at high ages. And that's where I'm torn. And I'm just like, this is great. She did it. She didn't get hurt. There's risk with everything, but there's much higher risks on certain things. Balancing on 2 weights on your tiptoes and your hands, and then, versus just doing a push-up on the floor. Balancing a plate on your back, the back of your head and your neck while you do push-ups, rather than just bench pressing, right? Dangling weights off of your shins and your toes, as opposed to just hooking the belt to your hips. Like, there's just a lot of things. It's like, why? Why do this? There's a bunch of them. There's just a bunch of them. Why are you jumping over a bench like that? Like, is she going to be running hurdles? What are we doing? Why are we doing that at 77? And then she takes that 2.5 foot fall right onto her hip. She's obviously not a hugely muscled individual where it absorbs that impact. If she were heavier, either body fat or muscle, it would definitely help with more impacts. Padding to your body is not a bad thing. To the bones of your body is not a bad thing. That's why I can survive more falls than not, is because I got a lot of padding. You get 20% of your body fat up there, 19.8 exactly, percent of your body fat, and muscle helps. And so I wanted to make a video that not only celebrated what this lady can do, because she's amazing. Again, like the Wayne Gretzky of hockey, the Jordan of basketball, the Deion, Bo Jackson of football, like whatever analogies you want to use, she is it. For, I would say, over 50. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody be able to do the things that she can do, for sure over the age of 70. But find me some 50-year-old females that can do this stuff. I mean, she's amazing. I'd love to meet her and shake her hand and tell her, you are a specimen. You're amazing. But at the same time, I see that stuff and I get worried, because as an individual who focuses my entire career and my life and my dedicated education to my life of 25 plus years now has been to working with older populations and helping them get strong as they age. And if you take any of the things that she's doing and you just have a regular old 65 pluser try, they're more than likely going to get hurt, which only showcases what a great trainer James is and what a great job he's done with her, is that she's obviously surviving all this stuff because she keeps making videos, right? Or he keeps making videos about her. And that's awesome. But I also get very concerned that other people are going to try it, because I know the competitive nature of humans. And or there's a unreasonable expectation of, am I supposed to be able to do that at 70? Because I can't, And no, that's not. Like, she is exceptionally exceptional. This is very rare. Half the shit she does, I can't see 20-year-olds doing. You know what I mean? She's super impressive. She's super impressive. And I don't know. I hope that it comes across here that I am not poo-pooing either of them, James or her. I'm in full awe of what they have together and what they built. I think it's fantastic. I just want to put up disclaimers. And maybe that's what I would advise towards James, is maybe in the posts, and I've read them. I don't think he puts this anywhere, is, maybe something of like, she's exceptional. The average 77-year-old can't do this stuff. So, remember that she's, however many years into training or something like that. I don't know. All right. That's probably enough for me. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. And I appreciate you all being here, liking, sharing, subscribing, helping us grow the channel. We'd really appreciate that. And until next time, please continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. Have a great day. Take care.